following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, go Cowboys! This is Talkin Cowboys. Streaming live from the Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco.
Handoff, Elliott plowing to the goal line. Barry, sacked by Moore. Prescott keeps it, and he bangs it in for the touchdown.
And now your hosts, Isaiah Stanback, Heckma Harrison, Rob Phillips, and Kyle Yeomans.
It's a Tuesday edition of Talkin Cowboys here on DallasCowboys.com. Presented by Tostitos, the official, helping fans get in on the game and the favorite chip and the favorite dip of Talkin Cowboys. Welcome in, everybody. Glad you're with us. Rob Phillips, Isaiah Stanback, Heckma Harrison, Chris Beam. I'm Kyle Yeomans. We're already in a good mood this morning. You know why? Why are we in a good mood?
10-4.
Because we get to talk to Cowboys Nation today. Give us a call, 888-855-2297.
Let's do it. I'm excited about that.
888-855-2297. How's everybody doing today?
Peachy.
Peachy?
Good, except who's deaf on our team that sits here?
They
doing the show.
Turn it all the way up.
Yeah, yes. I know, hearing aid for Christmas for
So
whoever
it'd
sits
be
here.
Monday, last show.
Yeah, seriously.
Who's the last show Monday on Chris? Do we know? Chris?
Beamer.
Last night, that would be Shannon Gross.
That makes sense.
Well, he is like 65. So.
Yeah, at least, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. He's getting up there.
The Cowboys Hour was virtual last night.
Oh, okay. So they did it in here. That makes a lot of sense. Well, good. So Shannon needs hearing aids. We now know that as a part of Talking Cowboys to start things off. But everybody else is good. Isaiah?
I'm fantabuloso.
Thing one, thing two.
You like that?
Where's thing two?
She's at the house.
Oh, okay. That's good.
She's at the house.
That's fine.
Take care of the minions. The minions are home. I know Heckman knows that.
Oh, yeah. Well,
yeah, you know that too. Yep, the minions are home, so you got to find what to do with them all day long. Just clean up.
Grandma.
20 minutes later, clean up.
Cartoons?
Huh?
Cartoons?
Cartoons. Go in the gym, work out, train.
Grandma.
Go back upstairs, clean up.
That is so true, by the way.
Dude, isn't it though?
It's everything, right?
Dude, it's like
No, you don't understand, Kyle.
I don't understand, and you're
It's
right.
crazy, man.
I'm not looking forward to that
No.
part.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Sure.
Yes, you
It's
are.
going to be great.
Don't get
I don't want to
negative
do it
about
yet.
it. You
I don't
are
want to do it
ready.
yet. I'm good right now.
hold.
I'm all right right now. I'm having fun.
The oldest 23-year-old I know? 20,
What? I'm 25.
20,
but-
25. Yeah. Okay.
I'm 25.
That wasn't
Hey, make sure you get it right.
Well, he was struggling.
he was appalled.
Yes. 25.
Dare you call
I
me
was
23
23 when we met, though.
Go to
That's
the bar.
right.
So, yeah, because that was when I was high.
Legal.
I can eat at the bar.
Sometimes.
You can rent a car.
Barely. I still haven't done that yet. Yeah, I can barely rent a car.
That's crazy.
Everybody got their Christmas shopping done or no?
No.
Not yet?
No.
Isaiah, you done?
I'm 99% done.
Almost there?
Almost.
Almost.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. I got mine done yesterday, and I just was mad at the world. Everybody was cutting you off in traffic. Everybody's just crazy right now.
But you gotta go out with your mind already right. When you're, it's gonna be chaotic. You're in the crowd. So come on, man, put a positive
you
face.
have to have
on
a game plan. You can't just go out just browsing. You have to know exactly what you're going to grab.
And I had my game plan, but then my game plan got upended because the game plan didn't have what I needed in certain stores.
You didn't have a backup
It
plan.
never does.
And I didn't have a backup plan. That was my problem.
You got to check
Amazon?
inventory.
See, I
Amazon's
couldn't get
done.
these off of Amazon.
Amazon's done.
What? You can't get these off Amazon.
I know, it was.
What are you getting?
I don't know.
What are you,
You'll find out on
extra.
Is
Thursday.
it an elephant? What are you?
It's a giraffe, actually.
I think you could get that on.
Can you prime an elephant?
I'm telling you.
He got the Harrison family a new puppy.
Oh, please.
Oh, whoa, Chris, what are you doing?
You just giving it out on Christmas right now?
Chris, wow.
Kia's
guys have a puppy?
Kia's listening to the show.
Wow.
He's super excited.
Do you guys have dogs?
Yeah, yes, we.
How many dogs you got?
We got one.
We got one dog.
Yeah, we got one. We got
What'd you got?
Dog.
Dog?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's
Kyle, you got a cat, right?
No, I don't have anything right now. No.
She had a fish.
I don't even have a fish.
But
No.
you're like, who has a cat? Somebody had a cat.
I was
Your
thinking
girlfriend
about
has
getting a
I've got
cat.
2 cats.
And my,
That's what it was.
No,
Beamer has cats.
No, Beamer doesn't have. He has one cat, and he has another cat that no one's ever seen. It's a mystery cat.
It's a mystery.
It's a mystery
like mystery
cat.
meat. Is that where the mystery meat comes from?
He always says, "Oh, I got another cat." I'm like, "No, you don't. I've never seen this cat."
The cat's name is Scout. It's like a scout sniper. You never.
That's
know
exactly
I like
where.
that.
Yep.
So wait, do the kids want a new dog? Is that where the jokes?
Let's
coming
kill
from
this
on
whole
this?
conversation.
No, I'm just curious.
Hey,
I'm just curious.
my wife just picked up an extra one. You want one of bars?
I do not. I don't.
We have 3
We're
kids and
good.
3 dogs.
The kids listen right now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, let's drop it. Let's talk Cowboys.
Yeah, let's do news and notes.
What's the biggest dog we can find now?
Don't do it.
Walk in.
Let's
with
get
like this
a
German
South
Shepherd.
African Borbal. How about that? Can we get him one of those? 225 pounds. Just
Is it a half hyena.
Mastodon.
Oh,
yeah.
goodness. All right, news and notes. Dallas Cowboys. Let's talk about it. What's going on with this team?
The Dallas Cowboys. They are relatively healthy coming out of the Giants game. No injuries that they've officially reported coming out of this game. Jerry, COVID's a different story, although no players, no new player tests yesterday. Matt Daniels, the assistant special teams coach, assistant to John Fossil, tested positive yesterday. So he's on the reserve COVID list. And the league might be moving to this anyway this week in light of more and more cases yesterday throughout the league. But Cowboys going virtual all week in terms of meetings and then practice, trying to get ahead of this.
And
or just tread water and no more cases.
Now, the NHL, National Hockey League, went on a pause as of last night. They concluded their games last night, and then they put a pause on things to just try and get everyone right, because it's not just the NFL going through this COVID spike right now. The NFL's going through it, NHL, NBA, pretty much every professional sports league at the moment that is playing is having some sort of issues with this. I think I know the answer to this question already, but do you see the NFL ever even remotely entertaining that possibility down the road?
Doesn't sound like it. I mean, Jerry was asked about it today, and they're trying to move forward with new protocols, targeted testing, not, and they've even changed the, if you're vaccinated and you don't show symptoms, you're not being tested. I think that's correct, right? Mm-hmm. And then now you can get back sooner, potentially, if you're vaccinated. One negative test 24 hours apart. Well, instead of 2 24 hours apart, one negative test, you can be back on the field. So they're trying to move forward.
What does that say? Isaiah's got a great look on his face right now. What are you thinking?
I have zero comment in regards to that, because that makes zero sense, but I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah.
I think one of their rationale behind it is I saw a report that Washington had like 25 cases. 23 showed no symptoms, and there's no evidence that this can be passed on the field to each other during games, and that's why they think, it's endemic in society now. And so you're trying to live with it and trying to move forward. That's what they're trying to do.
So basically, it's a step forward away from the original line of thinking. That's why it doesn't necessarily make a whole lot of sense, right? Because it's not the way you've always thought about COVID in sports. It's basically trying to move past that.
It's a first step. I will see if other leagues follow it. I'm sure they're in communication with the NBA. NBA's having a ton of cases too.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could do one way. You could pause it and try to make it stop, or you can just kind of move forward, and that's what the NFL is going to do. And
then in terms of injuries, you said no big injuries out of that. Do you think of anybody that can return, a.k.a. a Donovan Wilson? What's his situation like at the moment?
Sounds like he's got a good chance to this week. Jerry was not ready to say Tyron Smith would be back this week. If it's close, then I would think they would try to give him another week. But he sounded very optimistic about his prospects the rest of the way as they move into the postseason, most likely.
3 games left. Do you think he makes it back this week, or do they save him for Week 17 against Arizona?
The way they're talking, Mike said it's too early to tell. It doesn't sound like they're super optimistic, but they're going to give it the week and see how he's feeling.
That's good. Okay, so he could potentially get on the practice field. Doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to play, though, right?
Not ruled out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So there's the news and notes update from Rob Phillips. And, gentlemen, we talked a lot yesterday about the offense and the look of Zeke and Pollard and Dak as a whole. But I want to, before we start taking our fan calls today, I want to talk about the offensive line, because Connor Williams jumps in, starts at left guard. You have Ty Nsekhe rotating back and forth with Terrence Steele at the left tackle spot. Do you feel better about the depth of this offensive line from what you saw yesterday as opposed to what you had seen the previous 4 weeks?
You know, I think it seems like it's ever-changing. And when you talk about Tyron Smith and him coming back, obviously that's going to be a bigger part of seeing who's going to start at left tackle until he's back healthy. And I think they should take their time with that decision simply because, as you talked about going into the playoffs, how we're going to need our full litany of guys up front and definitely need Tyron Smith for that. I felt better at left guard, honestly. And not that, the Connor Bros are looked at one as the same, but I really felt like Connor Williams took the lead last week. And let's just see how he does versus Daron Payne. They have had their run-ins with one another over the last couple of years, so it's going to be interesting to see that matchup. I just felt like our offensive line, you saw them getting after the defense. Pass protection, we still had some issues. And those are the things that have to be corrected going back into the Washington football team week. But I feel a lot better about where we are on the offensive line now.
This previous game, I felt better. Obviously, Connor Williams came in and did a much better job than what had been there previously, regardless of what Connor Bro was in there. I do believe that this, is ready? This continuity.
Woo!
All right.
Love it.
This word that we keep using, I don't know if they're kind of starting to shy away from the traditional form of what they consider to be continuity in terms of the same guys out there every week. I'm starting to believe that these guys are approaching it as a matchup. That is just a personnel thing. What are we going to face this week? Who is better suited for this particular team that we're facing? Playing against the Giants, okay, you had one guy that you really had to worry about, on that left side. Now this week, we got 3 guys that we're probably going to have to worry about on that left side. So who's going to be best fit to handle pass blocking instead of run blocking, right? What's our game plan and what is the personnel that they present that can create some mismatches for us? And that's who we're going to put out there to give ourselves an advantage.
Yeah, it was a true rotation at left tackle in the last game. And I want to say 30-something snaps for Terrence Steele, 20-something snaps for Ty Nsekhe, and I think it came down to pass protection. They felt like Nseki's experience could help in that area in the game. So it's very possible that if there's no Tyron Smith, they go to both guys again, depending on the situation, depending on the matchup. If they're more in pass mode, maybe you see more Ty Nsekhe in this game. I think Connor Williams gave him some juice at left guard. I really do. There was more pulling, there was more movement in the run game, and I think that's where he excels. And the other thing is too that they really, we didn't talk about this, and I didn't think about this during the week, but they felt like Connor McGovern has a role as a fullback in this offense that they really like. And that was another reason why they went to that switch, because they like him in that 2-back offense.
I think it was a better fit for both of those guys in their respective roles. I mean, Connor Williams has been the left guard for quite some time. They gave McGovern an opportunity to win that job outright, but McGovern's been better than Connor Williams at the fullback spot as well. So I completely agree with you. I think it does completely even out, and it makes a lot more sense to have those guys in their roles. But we've kind of mentioned this previously on the show about talking, it's a contract year for Connor Williams. Did he make himself some money coming back and winning that job back that quickly? I mean, he came back and it was almost an immediate change. Is this making sure that he, one, either sticks around next year, or two, is able to at least ensure himself a starting job at some place in the NFL?
I don't know.
It's a long way away.
It's a long ways away. I don't know what the college prospects are in terms of that position group right now, or where we may be seated at in terms of the draft and all that jazz.
Right.
So there's a lot of conversation that has to revolve around that. If there's a guy that they can take at that position, that's a dog, I'm pretty sure they would pull the trigger on that.
Now, I'm going to go TBD on that, man, because I think you still have so much of the season left, and the way that the beginning of the season started for him with the penalties, he still has some stuff to prove.
That's a good point.
I think, when they went away from McGovern and with Williams, I think you saw immediately when they went that counter trade, you see his ability to move. And maybe that's the difference between the two, how they operate out in space. But either way it goes, I mean, I feel – I don't want to use the word confident. I feel better with Connor Williams right now after seeing the little small sample size that we got of McGovern. And McGovern is so freaking good at the fullback position, and a touchdown is coming. It's coming.
They drew that up, Kellen said.
Did you hear Kellen Moore yesterday?
Yeah,
it's coming,
he
Rob.
wanted it.
He wanted it. for McGovern. He wanted that touchdown to go to him.
But I mean, every game we're seeing, whether it's with the jumbo package, the Hulk package, whatever it is, all of these offensive linemen are getting in on the act. And so we talk about the C word. I'm just going to say that. I'm going to take another shot this morning. But everybody knows that all of these guys, I think they fully anticipate being able to play. And listening to Jerry Jones this morning, he talked about the flex position or being able to use guys offensively, the offensive line, at multiple positions. And that's the way that you see Terrence Steele operate, McGovern operate, and also Connor Williams. And I think that's the value that we have up front with certain guys.
The C word is continuity, by the way. Just so everybody
yes,
knows.
It's continuity.
Just want to throw that out there so that all of our family-friendly audience can know it's continuity.
Come on, dog.
Now, with this being said, you mentioned the movement up front. You talk about the left guard spot and pulling and allowing the athleticism of Connor Williams to shine through. How much does that open up a playbook for Kellen Moore? Does that allow you to do different things from a run game standpoint? We mentioned there needs to be an uptick in pass blocking and in that pass protection. But from a run game, we saw that there was some considerable steps forward. Is that just based solely on the opening of the playbook with Connor Williams up front?
I think it definitely helps. Isaiah's shaking his head yes, so I'm going to go to Isaiah. But I think just from the layman's perspective, I feel like everybody's been begging for them to attack the edges, do all that. I think he's best suited to help them do that. And I think we saw more of that in the game. And it helps to have Tony Pollard in the game because that's where he excels the most. But I think that varies their attack a little bit. Yeah.
It allows for you to have movement. I don't believe that this is a downhill team anymore. At least not where we stand right now currently. So I think that, the most advantageous form of running for us is obviously trying to get to the edges. And when you have running backs like TP that can come in and give you that change of pace, he gets out to the edges. When you have guards like Connor Williams that can pull and get out there, now he can kick out those defensive ends and work his way up inside to the next level. The linebackers seal off guys. It allows for you to have that movement that you may not have had without him in the lineup.
I love what you were talking about, the matchup, and probably using guys based off of where you are, guys on the outside or what have you. When we talked about that Washington football team at length, and it was all about matching their tempo and their aggressiveness at the line of scrimmage. And you're finding that our guards are able to match that. There are teams that we go up against that are a lot quicker on the outside. And so the Washington football team is one of them. And they will put pressure on you and not allow it. But with Zeke and what we saw last week, with him just looking healthier, if we can play smash mouth football through the rest of this, maybe that's something identity-wise we could kind of take that mantle back up, and it's something that we use in the playoffs because we're going to need the running game. No matter how you look at it, we're going to need the running game.
It would be amazing if we can line up and just go downhill and get 4 yards.
How long has it been since teams were afraid of you running the football? Probably
a couple years.
I would say earlier this season.
But that's a good point. Like those early in Dak's career when you had Travis Frederick and you had
that's what I'm saying.
That was smash.
That's why I say a couple years.
Yeah, they put 8-9 guys in the box. It didn't matter. Zeke's got 1,700 rushing yards. And that's again, this line is somewhat in transition. They're young at the center spot. Tyler Biadasz, I think, has played better as the year's gone on, but they've had a change at left guard. Like they're trying, they're still trying some things, still trying to find the right mix, and they've had injuries too.
It's kind of interesting. They've had 146, 122, 125 on the ground the last 3 weeks. So, I mean, as much as this run game has been knocked down and torn down, it still looks like they're able to produce a certain amount. Now, a lot of that is garbage time and running out the clock and so on and so forth.
I think it goes back to, and the reason why I say a couple of years is because of how dominant that offensive line was a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Right? When Frederick, and you had Frederick in there, you had Martin in there.
Leary.
You had all those guys that it was straight, we're coming at you. It doesn't matter who you have. It doesn't matter what you do. We're going to get 4 or 5 yards a pop coming downhill. You don't have to get out to the edges.
Line.
Now, with this particular running scheme that we have now, and obviously the personnel that we have up front, you're 2 yards, hopefully 3 yards, and then you're hoping for that change of pace, big play, right? And now you're hoping for that big play versus before. If it was 3rd and 3, you didn't have 3rd and 4. Guess what? We can run the ball.
Right.
We don't have to air this thing out. We don't have to go in the gun 5 yards deep just to go 3 yards for us. And now you're asking guys to go 8 yards. No, line up and we're coming downhill.
And I've been saying running the ball, they got to do it. Running's great, but they got to get more explosive plays. Mm-hmm. They didn't have a single explosive pass play in the game.
And so much of that for this offense comes off of play action, though.
Yeah,
so much of that.
True.
Right? And I went back all the way to the first games. All the big plays, I won't say all, but a lot of the big plays came off of play action.
How many play action tries did they have this game? Because I didn't feel like they utilized play action a ton.
I think they
tried.
They tried. They did it a little bit more than they did in previous weeks.
Yeah.
And I think they figured out that getting Dak out in space is better for him as far as the passing game. But those explosive plays, regardless, guys, I just feel as though if you can continue the death of 1,000 cuts mentality with this running game, maybe that's the thing. It's not pretty. Obviously, you want the big plays, you want the splash plays, but if you're able to, time of possession, ball control, all of those things, that's an easy formula in football to win games. And right now, all we want to do is clinch this up and get into the playoffs and have home field advantage. That's what I'm sure that's what every Cowboy fan wants.
I mean, I would want that. That'd be on my Christmas list. You kidding me?
Hell yeah.
That'd be awesome. All right. When we come back, we're going to take calls from Cowboys Nation. 888-855-2297. Bob from Nashville is going to go first after the break here on Talkin' Cowboys.
There's nothing as unique as our eyes, which is why Essilor pioneers ways to make lenses as unique as you. Verilux for super sharp vision, Essential Blue for protection, and Crizal for freedom from glare. 3 cutting-edge solutions in a single unique lens. So whatever your needs, insist on Essilor. Visit your local Essilor experts and find the perfect lens for you. See more, do more, Essilor.
New Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. You deserve it.
I do deserve that.
You deserve decadent flavor without sugar. And a day at the beach without sand getting everywhere. And a relaxing bath that your children don't interrupt.
I deserve all that?
It's really just a visual metaphor for Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. Everything you want, nothing you don't.
A visual metaphor on the radio. I do deserve that.
Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. The zero you deserve is finally here.
At AT&T, everyone, new and existing customers, get our best deals on every smartphone. Why? Because you deserve it. For turning your living room into your office and your gym. For teaching Grandma how to video call. And teaching her again.
It's the button on your left, Nana. Okay, your other left.
It's not complicated. Everyone deserves something new. So AT&T is giving everyone, new and existing customers, our best deals with every unlimited plan on every smartphone, even the latest ones.
AT&T may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. Restrictions and exceptions may apply.
Hi, I'm Clint Tillison with...
And I'm Jay Novacek, and we're both with...
United Ag and Turf, the official tractor provider of the Dallas Cowboys.
So, if you need a tractor to bale some hay, a mower to cut some grass, or a gator to get some chores done...
Get a John Deere at United Ag and Turf.
And then, let's get to work.
Hey, Jay, that's my line.
Well, not today.
Get to work with a John Deere tractor package that's just right for you and your budget. Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
It's a great people, great pay replay here on Talkin' Cowboys. You've heard it already. The Jason Witten has joined the Caliber Collision team. You too can join him to do great work with great people for great pay. Apply right now at jobs@caliber.com. That's jobs@caliber.com. Go get that bread.
Get that Skrilla scraper.
Go get it at Jobs@Caliber.
So 1.5 on the Richter scale.
It was.
They need you, but you need them as much. Go get that. Go get yourself a job. Do it. You're listening to us at 9:20. You're either at work or you need work. Go get you a job at jobs@caliber.com.
Get that bread, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Back here for Talkin' Cowboys. It's a Talkin' Tuesday, which means we're going to take some phone calls from Cowboys Nation. And first, let's talk to one of our good friends, Bob in Nashville. Bob, how's it going? You're on Talkin' Cowboys.
Hey, guys. Great show. Hey, Kyle, I'm the guy that you said sounds like Doug Nussmeier.
Yes, you do.
Just like Doug Nussmeier.
Honestly, and it messes with me every single time.
Yeah, I apologize. It's 30 years of coaching, I guess, took a toll on my voice. But
that makes a lot of sense.
But real quick, you know what? I'm not too concerned about our offense in the sense that I think that all we need to do is change up a couple things. Continue to pound the run, keep the running game going. Dak's got to just take those little dinks and dunks. Somebody said it earlier, the cut by 1,000, just get them a little bit here and there, keep moving the chains, first downs. I think the big plays will come later on down the road as you keep running, maybe dinking and dunking to the tight ends, hit some short crossing routes. I think that's the recipe. It's been my experience, even though on a smaller scale. And when you get into the playoffs, it's more fundamentals, taking care of the football, and just imposing your will on a team. And I think we have the capability of passing, running, and if we take care of the ball, I think we're going to be very successful going down the stretch into the playoffs. I just wanted to hear your guys' thoughts about that. I think the big plays will come. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you, Bob, as always.
Bob sound like a coach, boy.
He sounds just like Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy yesterday, last 2 days we've talked to him, he's been talking about fundamentals because it's more scheme early on where there's unscouted stuff, and then Isaiah knows about this. You got to be able to, because teams know more what you're going to do. But he likes the time of possession right now. He likes the turnover ratio. Obviously likes what the defense is doing, and that's more. I mean, that's really encouraging for the playoffs when your defense can play like this, because those 40-point games don't happen as often when the weather gets colder and all that.
Go for it.
As a coach, his head's got to be spinning with the way that his defense is playing right now. I mean, 12 takeaways in 3 games, and the question is, can you continue that streak? And obviously, you can't. You don't expect for that to be the norm every week. But as the competition level goes up, meaning at the quarterback, you're starting to see the top of the food chain. If you're able to still continue to generate those turnovers, especially in a winner-takes-all scenario, those are going to be big.
Fundamentals. That word right there is everything as you approach the playoffs, simply because you want to do what you're saying. Keep the ball away. You want to play a game and keep away. Right? You want to keep the ball away from those quarterbacks because they're going to be the best that the league has. Right? That's just pure and simple. And those guys you can't expect them to make the mistakes that other quarterbacks have made against your defense. So you're hoping that your defense can simply just hold these guys down to lower point totals. And you can't really expect them. Now, if they go out there and show out and continue playing like they're playing, freaking awesome, right? But that you can't realistically have that expectation of your defense when they're going to start playing against the Aaron Rodgers of the world and all these guys. So I hope that these guys take care of business on defense. And offensively, yes, we have to continue to get this ground game. And I don't want to hope that these big plays come. I want to make the big plays come, right? And that comes in running the ball efficiently, and that's what this team is revolved around. I don't care how many guys we got at receiver. You have to run the ball in order for this offense to be successful.
So I have a question for y'all, because like I mentioned, they had the longest pass play in the game against the Giants was 19 yards, and they played all that shell coverage and all that. And Kellen Moore talked yesterday about you got to be patient with that. You can't try to force things that they're going to give you Schultz underneath. You take it. But at some point, do you have to take shots down the field, do something to shake them out of it? Or is it just simply like we got to run the hell out of the ball until they stop doing this?
There were 2 big plays that did not happen in the game.
CD drop.
The CD drop across the middle, and then you also had right there on the sideline the ball that got caught in the air.
It got caught in the wind.
Yeah, the one that got caught
Well, there
in
was
the wind.
another one, too. There was another one, too, where Dak was rolling out to his right and basically tried to take a deep shot in what he thought was man-to-man coverage with Amari Cooper over the top. He wound up, and what happened? He got hit from behind and fumbled the football.
I don't know what kind of time he thought he had on that particular play.
Yeah.
All day.
But yeah.
I'm going to tell you, be honest with you, I was right next to the Gallup deep throw, and that corner was windy. I'm not trying to.
No, for sure. The ball looked like it just got stolen.
It was circling right in that corner because it was hitting me from behind.
Thank you, Chris.
So just letting you know.
No, it makes sense, especially in that stadium. I don't take that away from him.
I mean, Christy in the broadcast said, because they asked which way the wind was going, and she said, well, if you look at both goalposts, they were both blowing in, which is crazy.
The Meadowlands gets crazy.
And did the first extra point, the wind got him too, right?
Yeah. And then obviously he said he tried to overcompensate for the second one, and that's when he hit the right goalpost.
Yeah. So
But no, that honestly, that end, I was watching their kicker during the warm-ups, and he missed like almost every one on that end.
It's just going back to, something that I know Isaiah knows, like the tempo for the playoffs is going to increase times 100 once, we get to wild card weekend. And
it's crazy.
Our ability to run the ball to steady our team, because anxiety and everything else is going to be up. And that's why we talk about smash mouth. And right now, this two safeties deep that Dak is having to face, and the way that teams are playing him, you're right, man. He's got to find a way to get them out of it. And the only way I feel is through the run game. Because if teams are willing to sacrifice that much because they believe wholeheartedly that their front five can stop our run,
disrespectful.
Thank you. And we've got to be able to beat them out of that. And Dak has got to find a way in the passing game to, slants, finding Schultz in the middle of the field, because they're leaving the middle of the field wide open for him.
And they love CD on those routes too. Like that's just
he's got to catch the damn
ball. I mean, I think he said he had 3 drops. I played terrible.
Which is fair. I mean, if he has those 3 drops, we mentioned it yesterday, Dak Prescott's probably, only 5 incompletions, 6 incompletions, and he's got close to 300 yards. So it does make sense. There's a lot on both ends of the stick. All right, Mike from Iowa, you're on Talking Cowboys. What up, Mike?
What up, Mike?
Brian.
Hey, Brian.
Oh, Brian. Sorry, I went back to last week. We had Mike from Iowa on the show, but this is Brian from Iowa. What up, Brian?
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's going on, dude?
Well, I guess one question. I know we're only like 4 weeks going into the playoffs, but just like the Cowboys, they have issues right now, and they're not totally healthy. But I guess scale from 1 to 10, how confident are you heading towards the playoffs with the Cowboys of being a big time contenders? Because we know that Cowboys are not just the only team in the playoffs. I mean, looking into the playoffs that are showing issues, but some teams are, like the number 1 seed. They having a lot of luck going their way right now, but they're also showing issues too. But they're not showing it right now. But I mean, going into the playoffs from scale to 1 to 10, how confident are you of the Cowboys getting back on track and trying to solve those issues?
Thank you very much for the call, Brian, and appreciate you listening as always. He's got a great point. So before we give our 1 through 10, let's talk about Tampa Bay. Shut out at home by New Orleans. Green Bay, 1 play away from potentially losing that game to a backup quarterback in Tyler Huntley, who played exceptionally well, by the way, for the Ravens. Who are the other ones? The Rams, Arizona, getting blown out by Detroit. That's big time too. I mean, these division leaders are not indestructible by any means. Neither are the Dallas Cowboys at that rate. But with that being said, I think my confidence level would go through the roof if the offense were to click the final 3 weeks. You're putting up points. You're having those big sustainable drives. You're hitting the big play again. I think I would go into the playoffs with an 8 or a 9, but right now I'm probably at a 6 or a 7.
Come on now. Yeah, I know I'm going to jump out the cake. And
so at least a 45.
On top.
At least.
Off the rip. I just feel like, for all the things that the criticism that this team gets, that no one has recognized the 3 victories on the road and giving them a gold star for that in December.
Sure.
I think if you look around the NFL and you just mentioned those teams that have had their losses, Green Bay is the one team that you just got to circle that, man, Aaron Rodgers, no matter what it is, what's going on, it just seems like he can overcome any adversity and still do his thing, even though they won by 1 point.
Sure.
My thinking is, even when you talk about the NFC East and how bad these teams are, hell, we still have teams that are battling for that 7th position. So leaving the game tonight, there's something to play for, So I just feel like the Cowboys can control what they can control, but when you talk about the rest of the NFC as a group, you got to feel confident with the way that our defense is evolving right now to take on those teams.
So much of the playoffs is about momentum. And I feel as if the Cowboys, even though they haven't been playing up to their standards, nevertheless, the fan standards and the analyst standards, they haven't been playing to their standards. Momentum is seemingly creeping up. Defense is playing out of this world. Offense is showing flashes of getting back on track. So momentum is trending up as you come towards the end of the year. When you start thinking about some of these other teams that we may face going into playoffs, you think about teams like the Cardinals. Okay, the Cardinals, obviously, their momentum is down right now. They're on a downward trend. They lost arguably one of the best receivers in the league.
Yep.
That hurts them tremendously in their ability to make big plays. So now they're relying on A.J. Green to somehow be what he was 5 years ago, right? That's what they're expecting, or they're going to go to Ertz. Okay, so that's what you're expecting out of that team. So my confidence level against those guys is pretty doggone high because I feel like they're trying to figure it out right now when we already are figuring things out. You start thinking about Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay just lost Godwin, unfortunately.
Yeah.
He's out for
big
the year.
Loss. And Evans has a hamstring.
Fournette has a hamstring. Said Fournette's going to miss some time. Hamstrings linger. So you got three of your number one, three of your offensive guys hurting right now. All right, Tom needs those guys. Mm-hmm. He can't generate plays himself. He needs those guys in order to be there to make plays for him. So those guys are trending down right now. Then you look at Green Bay. Green Bay is scary.
Yeah.
Green Bay is freaking scary, not only because of the dude they have at quarterback, but because of their ability to run the ball with both of their running backs right now.
And at the moment, you're going to have to go up there to win.
Yep.
Which, I mean,
is always a problem.
I got a stocking cap. Let's go.
Okay. It's always a problem. So as you look at those four teams,
it's not ideal.
3 teams, right? 3 teams. As you look at those teams right there, there's only one team that I'm like, you better bring everything has to be clicking that day.
The big whiteys.
If that's the case too, that would be McCarthy's first return to Green Bay.
That would be crazy.
God, the storylines.
Get ready to type.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Well, and how many words per minute can you type, by the way, Rob?
I have no idea. Not enough.
Not enough for that.
I took that in class, though.
What's your confidence level, real quick, before we take our next call?
I'm with you. I'd probably put it like a 7 right now because I think your defense has to be clicking in January. It's weird though. There's 3 games left in this season, and if it's the week of Christmas, and that is rare.
That is weird.
It's weird. There's a lot of time left for momentum, one way or the other.
Yep.
Offensively, though, they still have to find some things here and get some more consistency. It was a step forward in this last game, but it's not where they want it, and it's not where they need it to be in terms of explosive plays, continuing to run the football, red zone, all those things. You run into an Aaron Rodgers, a Tom Brady. You're going, as good as your defense is playing, you're going to have to match some of that.
Absolutely.
The Giants put up 6 points. That's not going to be a luxury for you in the playoffs. So I think that makes it where I'm not at an 8 or 9 yet. They do have the capability to turn the switch eventually. But it's been a stretch here where it's not there. And you're right about the Bucs injuries, but they had that hiccup last Sunday. They had scored 30-plus points 4 straight games before that. So that, to me, that's more of an aberration than a trend. Now, how do they handle these injuries, though? That's a problem for them.
Yep. It was the first time since the merger that a team that had entered the week leading the NFL in scoring and in points was shut out at home. First time ever. So, I mean, maybe that's the exception.
AB back, too, though, right?
Yes. Yeah. He's going to be back, and you saw what he did against the Cowboys. AB. So, all right, let's hear from Tony in L.A. Tony, you're on Talkin Cowboys. What's up?
Hey, what's up, fellas? How you guys doing? Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we got you.
All right. Hey, man, my question is this. I'm at work right now, but my question is, do you guys think maybe that, like, Kellen Moore, Mike McCarthy, they're kind of like holding their hand, like they don't want to show too much of some new plays? They're trying to perfect maybe like or work on execution of like the run game and different things like that, getting ready in preparation for the playoffs, and not really showing their hand too much as far as like the creative plays that we kind of saw like in the early part of the season. Maybe they're trying to save that for the playoffs. Do you guys think that's a possibility? And just want to let you guys know you guys are doing a great job, and thank you for all your hard work.
Appreciate you, Tony. He's over there at Caliber Collision getting that bread. Is what he's doing.
Man, you know what? Tony need to keep L.A. warm for us, man. We're on our way.
There it is.
There's the cake.
It is.
The cake was there. You are now over there. You have just jumped out of the cake.
Man, why y'all don't feel like that?
Have you looked at hotel rates, by the way?
I'm already booked.
Oh.
Wow. We so far till we die, baby.
That's at ESPN.
California love.
ESPN. I looked at rooms last 2 weeks ago. It's $10,000 a night.
What?
Heck,
man. Jesus.
Whoa, what are you doing, bro?
Let's go. ESPN.
Yeah, man. Y'all got it.
I got to talk to our producer.
Got to hook up. Got to get the hook up.
Oh, man.
All right, $7,000 a night. All
right. Going back, I'm going to be staying with Tony.
That's what you would do, Chris.
So Tony brought up a point that I had kind of brought up a little tongue-in-cheek yesterday about maybe saving some for the playoffs. I don't know if this is a league where you can do that realistically, but Isaiah, what is your thought in terms of if that's the case and if it is a possibility, why would they do that?
You always have some kind of black book put away, right? You always have the Waterboy playbook put away a little bit on the side.
Got that thin one just kind of over there.
You show them a little sample size, and most of it is you're setting teams up for the future, right? I'm going to show them this run. I'm going to show them this bootleg. I'm going to kind of throw some little hints out there to kind of expose some what's the word I'm looking for? Tendencies, right? Expose some tendencies plays, and then I'm going to change it up on them when I get to the playoffs. So, yes, in that sense, yes, you're always projecting and setting teams up, putting out there what you want them to see, while in the same process hoping that you execute the plays, but knowing that you have a secondary play off of that can come back and kill them later on. But in terms of just holding back your offense, that's how you end up with Denver Broncos.
This guy is the only guy I know that he can successfully agree and disagree with you in the same
He did
sentence.
just do that, didn't he?
Did you just?
He totally did that. He was like, no, dude, they don't hold back, but they hold back a little bit.
Right.
Johnny Cocker's my uncle.
I'm just saying, man, I might not be the sharpest knife in the drawer, but, man, I'm telling you, that sounds like an agreement to me. But then you wrapped it up there. Nah, I don't agree.
He goes, Tony, I really just don't agree with your question. But they do that, actually.
I even alluded to this through the Washington football team, knowing that you're going to have to play them and back to back the way that you have, that maybe you were holding something back. I think that there are parts in the season, especially like when you come up against AFC competition, stuff like that. There may be, because there's so much gamemanship. It's such a chess match between these coaches, and they don't want to expose everything. 105.3 The Fan, if you listen long enough, they'll call it sandbagging or whatever it's being called these days. But I just feel as though, this team in particular, I believe for Kellen Moore, with all the problems that he's having on third down, the red zone problems, and you talk about momentum and trying to get things back going offensively, he's got to be trying to find everything he possibly can to get Ford back on the road.
Not just go into a shell because you think you're going to clinch a playoff spot. Kellen was asked this exact question, and he said we're still trying to win games. So if I feel like something helps us win a game, I feel like we'll utilize it. So I think it's a fair question because some of the water boy type stuff, formation, crazy stuff, like we haven't seen as much of that. Maybe there's been less motion. I don't know. But they're trying to shake out of this rut they've been in. So I don't really buy that. I think when you play a team like the Giants, there are situations where if you're not threatened by their offense, you kick the field goal at the end of the half, and you play to your defense the way your defense is playing. But I don't think you just totally hold back. I know you hate that, but I think I think that was a case where look, we'll get 15 points at half. We probably don't think they can score 15 in this game.
Yeah.
So
The last time I really looked at
or not.
The last time I really looked at Kellen Moore and said, "Hey, you had a really good game," it was probably the Minnesota game with Cooper Rush at quarterback. You can maybe say it against Atlanta, but Atlanta's just downright terrible. They're just not a good football team.
But your boy's on that team.
Kyle Pitts? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is my boy, and he's not playing very well because he doesn't have anybody else around him.
Boom.
But that's kind of the thing is I don't know if you've really looked at any of the games lately and said, oh, that was Kellen Moore's best stuff. It was New England, Minnesota straddling the sides of the bye week, and since then I haven't really seen that
So
yet.
you think he's holding back?
Maybe.
A little bit?
Yeah, he might be. I think there's a chance. All right, let's take our second break. When we come back, we'll wrap things up and look ahead to the week that is. It's the Washington football team and the Cowboys again in Week 16 when we come back here on Talkin Cowboys.
Want to use what the pros use? How about the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black? Right now, you can get the Jack Black Starter, a curated collection of Cowboys locker room favorites for just $10 with free shipping. The starter includes 4 Jack Black skincare favorites, plus a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Go to getjackblack.com/Cowboys and use the code word TEAMJB. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys. The Jack Black Starter, $10, free shipping.
At AT&T, everyone, new and existing customers, get our best deals on every smartphone. Why? Because you deserve it. For turning your living room into your office and your gym. For teaching Grandma how to video call. And teaching her again.
It's the button on your left, Nana. Okay, your other left.
It's not complicated. Everyone deserves something new. So AT&T is giving everyone, new and existing customers, our best deals with every unlimited plan on every smartphone, even the latest ones.
AT&T may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. Restrictions and exceptions may apply.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. Where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way. Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
Before there was a draft, you could size up a cowboy by 3 simple factors: the crease in his hat, the bend of his brim, and his unbending attitude. A man's Stetson didn't just protect him from what life threw at him, it projected a rugged, unstoppable spirit. Stetson hats are still American-made with pride right here in Texas. They're still the unofficial crown of all self-respecting cowboys, and Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Find a retailer nearest you at stetson.com/cowboys.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Whether you're watching from home or you're cheering in the stands with Essilor lenses, you can see every exciting play. Book an appointment at your local Essilor experts and see what Essilor can do for you. See more, do more, Essilor on Talkin' Cowboys. That was a dual read. I like it, Chris.
We got surprises like that.
Yeah, we bring the heat.
You
every
never know what
week.
he's doing.
Funny thing is,
crazy, man.
What you need to do is I'll get on one shot. He throws it to the right, and then I get to that shot. See, and we can throw it. Never mind.
And go back and forth, ping pong it.
We just bushwhackers it.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
tag team it.
Tag
Okay.
team it.
All right.
All right. Well, Heckma Harrison, Isaiah Stanback, Rob Phillips. We've got Chris Beam in the back. I'm Kyle Yeomans. All right, we will preview the Washington football team offense tomorrow versus the Cowboys defense. Let's give a little taste of what we're going to talk about tomorrow, because could be a different looking Washington team as of the end of tonight than it will be that the Cowboys face on Sunday. It's definitely going to be a different looking team than what they faced 2 weeks ago.
Absolutely.
Have you ever seen a change in a roster as potentially big as this could be in the span of 2 weeks in between matchups?
Now, they're saying that Garrett Gilbert could be the quarterback.
I was going to ask you, is that the case tonight?
I'm just saying, if I had told you at the beginning of the season that we're going to play the Washington football team and Garrett Gilbert's going to be the starter, I mean, you say, what are you smoking? But I'm just saying.
Back weeks. Jalen 1 week.
I mean, it's like the ghost of Christmas past for everybody coming through here, right? So, I mean, I'm excited about the matchup. I feel like our team is excited to see the football team. You can tell, man, from the sounds of the sideline. If you haven't watched the sounds of the sideline from the Washington football game, that was amazing, by the way.
Alex Lilly.
Alex Lilly's doing a fantastic job. But, the rivalry is renewed, man, on our side. We're looking forward to seeing. They got to keep that same energy that they had from last year.
We want Dallas.
Yeah. Come on with it.
Right?
This defense is going to look totally different. I know that. I'm looking forward to seeing how our guys respond to a formidable defensive line.
With Sweat back.
Yes. I'm looking forward to seeing
That's
that.
a good test.
Yes, it is.
It's a good one because they're still not full strength. No Chase Young, of course, and they'll get Montez Sweat back, who was not there 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, they'll have 3 of their 4.
Mm-hmm. They'll get after it a little bit.
Yeah, they will. I just think energy-wise, though, it's going to be tough for them. And it's like to me, it's a scheduling thing that's weird. It's like you're given the opportunity to reschedule, but you got to push it all the way to Tuesday. We're going to make you play a night game, then come back and play the Cowboys on Sunday. I'm just saying
we're not crying for them.
It's not ideal for them, and I think it's going to be a challenge for them. But Ron Rivera's a great coach, and I think he'll get them up.
3 games in 12 days.
I know,
but
every team kind of does that
tonight,
now. Every team plays on Thursday. at some point.
If they tie tonight, then the Cowboys would be NFC East champions as well.
On a Tuesday.
Yeah. By the way, here's the update for the Washington football team quarterback situation heading into tonight. Washington still without multiple players. Taylor Heineke, Kyle Allen, and both are on the COVID-19 list. However, they both have an opportunity at 4 p.m. or until 4 p.m. today to take tests and test out of the league's COVID protocols, which would allow them to play 3 hours later for the 7 o'clock kick. If neither one of them were to test out, Garrett Gilbert would start tonight for the Washington football team.
When does the new league protocols kick in?
It's already kicked in, right?
No,
I think they have. Yeah.
Has it?
I think it was Monday, or unless maybe
something officials come out.
But that's the thing is if they test negative today and they test out of the protocol, they can play 3 hours after the deadline to test out of the protocol.
Is this like wrestling where you have to go get your weight down? Go run on the treadmill for an hour.
Kind of what it's going to be.
You're going to go test.
They're going to test, and they're going to be like, all right, get your helmet, get out there, like, have fun.
It's crazy. Wild.
It's what a year, what a day we live in. Day and age.
It's the new world.
It is. All right. That's it for us here on Talking Cowboys. We'll give you more Washington offense versus that Cowboys defense tomorrow. For Chris Beam, Rob Phillips, Heckma Harris, and Isaiah Stanback, I'm Kyle Yeomans. We'll see you tomorrow on Talking Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them